You're listening to the Claret and Big Blue podcast on the Pass the Gravy Podcast Network.
Damn, Daniel.
Over the middle, touchdown Giants. Taken away by Wicks. Oh, it's glorious. It's Pettis to Jones. Oh, what a catch by Daniel Jones. Cleared as far as Saeed Ben Rama.
And we are live.
We'll do it live.
Welcome everyone to Claret and Big Blue, probably the only podcast on the internet dedicated to West Ham United and the New York Giants. That's right, football and football balls for everyone's taste. I am Mike Fish and I am joined as always by a man who is determined to find the cure for rabies. It's Mr. Alex Middleton. Alex, how you doing, buddy?
We are going to find a cure. That's for sure. See what I did there? Right.
We are.
Wrapped.
You're a poet and you didn't know it.
Mm-hmm. There we go. I like that.
Although I feel you were very familiar with the fact that you're a masterful poet. Poet laureate, as some say.
I don't know what a laureate is.
You drinking water or vodka?
I am drinking mineral water because of fucking West Ham. My personality is not very bubbly today, so my water needs to be. And that's shout out to water with bubbles in it.
What's the brand? I don't think I've ever.
It's 1877. It's you don't have HEB in the great state of New Jersey, but here in Texas we have HEB, and that's their store brand of Topo Chico. Do you know what Topo Chico is? You know, yeah, 1877.
Sure. The year water was invented.
I think that was the year Texas was a state.
Oh, and water was invented. Bobby McFunderwaffles in the chat. In Texas, mineral water means vodka. That doesn't sound fun. That sounds
no,
like
it
a lame
does.
party
I
to me.
forgot about that. But wouldn't it be funny if this was just filled with vodka? I'm just slowly sipping vodka.
I'd understand it if you did it.
It makes me do that sometimes.
Yeah. Also, just if you're watching the video version on YouTube or Spotify, I just realized my shirt kind of blends well with our background.
It does. It's a cool shirt, dude. You gonna go to court today or something?
No, I just thought,
What you dressed up for?
The sun came out for the first time in a while, so I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna put a nice fancy shirt on and sit outside and talk to no one while I drink a beer.
There you go.
That's
nothing better than that.
As a Tuesday gets until 6 o'clock, when it gets awesome. Yeah, before we kind of dive in, because I think we're going to rip the Band-Aid off and talk about the miserable part of West Ham at the beginning. It's going to be a miserable sandwich if you think about it. New York casual. Yeah, sure.
New York cash.
Even though I'm not a New Yorker and I live in New Jersey, but I'll take it. It's I'm an Englishman in New Jersey. Yeah, but in New Jersey we have New Jersey casual, not New York casual. It's very different.
Well, it's kind of the same.
It's basically the same, but there's more stains, I think.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah. What have you been up to in the last 7 days on this spherical miracle that we call Earth? We're just rhyming all over the place tonight.
I had off last week, so I just kind of hung out at home. I didn't really go anywhere.
Did you manage to sleep in until like the crazy hours, like 6 or 7?
I slept until like 10 a.m. a couple of days. I got a bunch of like 7-8 hour days / nights of sleep, so that was pretty cool. That goes away this week though.
Yeah, did it hurt? When did you have to get up?
Yeah, like I haven't like got caught up like on like being tired yet. Like my body's like, oh, okay, well whatever, dude. We were used to the 3 hours of sleep a night, so we can go back to that.
Yeah, you don't want to get used to that because that will sting. Speaking of stinging, last Thursday, West Ham knocked out of the Europa League by Eintracht Frankfurt
Bunch of Nazis.
Wankers.
Nazis.
I guess the main talking point, I guess. What was Aaron Cresswell thinking again? Does he not learn?
Was that not a yellow? Was it yellow? I mean, come on.
I'll be honest.
I thought there was a lot of
happened,
jockeying for position. There's a lot of pulling. There was a lot of grabbing on that. Cresswell was definitely more so at fault. But if it's going both ways, dude.
You know that's not how it works.
In a game like that, in a Europa semifinal game, you're going to send somebody off after going and looking at it and realizing how much of a, I'm not saying 50-50, it was 60-40 on Cresswell, but saying how much of it, how big the stakes were for that, you're like, nah, fuck it.
It was actually, I don't know what country it was from, but the international Mike Dean, shall we say. But I honestly thought in real time when it happened and he gave me a yellow card, there was a part of me who thinking we got away with one there. And then as soon, because the bar I was watching it in didn't have the audio on, so I didn't hear anything. But then as soon as he started running over to that monitor, I was like, fuck. Because as soon as they go over to the monitor, it's done. Then he's not going to go over there and be like, oh no, I disagree. My yellow card stands.
If you fuck it up, you should have to stick with it on a card like that.
Especially, I am an advocate of...
Like 20 minutes into the game, it was over. Like I said at the bar, I was like, look, we could all just go home now. This is dumb. What a waste of fucking 60 minutes we got now.
Well, no, it was earlier than that. I think wasn't it like the 17th minute or something?
Yeah, it was about 20 minutes in. About 20 minutes in.
Yeah, and then once they got their goal, it was okay. We need 2 goals to take us extra time.
I was mad that we didn't take more. We weren't just more like hockey goon after that. It's like, what do you do, man? You're from the final that you can't go to. Who gives a shit? Throw some elbows.
That's one way of going with it, I guess.
Fucking, that's what I liked about Moyes, dude. Had some fire in Moyes where he was like, fuck you. I'm going to give me that ball. He was like, give me that ball. And just punted it at fucking Eintracht. And I was like, yeah, fuck them, right, dude? They were being a bunch of bitches. They were just laying around, fucking being a bunch of bitches. Guess that's how they play ball in Germany. I don't know.
Have you ever watched a Bundesliga game?
It's fucking awful.
It's so boring.
That's why Bayern wins the league 10 years in a row. Sick league.
I just wish there was a different camera angle because I wanted to see who got hit by that ball.
That was great, though. I was just, you red card the coach with like 10 minutes left. Got him.
Oh, no.
Who gives a shit, dude? Moyes is a fucking badass because of that.
Do you know what would have been great? Is because he's retiring at the end of the season, Mark Noble come on and just literally just punch one of their players in the face. No, not even that, because that you could argue, oh, that was it. No, just literally just walk up to him and just punch him in the face, like just square in the face.
Because like Suarez, when he did that, the bite, like that was World Cup, but it got him suspended for club too, right?
It did, yes. So maybe
it can cross over, but I was like, just get some dirty red cards, dude. Like, see how many red cards we could get. Like, I don't give a fuck. There's 10 minutes left. Take their legs out. Let's go. I don't give a shit. Fucking whoever that fucking front guy was, the guy not the guy that scored, the guy that assisted on that goal. It was like, fuck that guy. He was being a little pussy the whole fucking second half. It was like, somebody just take him out, man.
I'm just trying to think of the Suarez thing. I don't know whether that was a FIFA ban that carried over, or if the Premier League were just kind of, yeah, we don't want any part of this. Like, I can't remember. I don't know if FIFA can ban you. I don't know.
It's some bullshit.
But still, it didn't happen. But it would have been funny if Mark Noble just literally just got subbed on. First 30 seconds, just walks up to one of their players and just punches them square between the eyes.
He's such a nice guy. He's like, well, you had to have a reason.
Do you?
I don't know. If Noble does it, you would assume he had a reason.
True. I mean, he can fight. I've seen him. Do you remember that when he took that fan that ran onto the pitch?
Yeah.
And that unfortunate photo that looks like he shoved his fist up his ass?
Fucking took him down, though.
He did. Don't fucking mess with Mark. disappointing, I guess.
It's just a waste of a bunch of fucking Thursdays.
It
Sick.
was. But the only thing that made me smile that day was I bar hopped. I went from one happy hour to the next. And so I finished up at the bar I was watching the game in. And then when their happy hour finished, I walked 2 minutes up the block to the next bar. And as soon as I walked into that bar, the owner saw me wearing my West Ham shirt. And he just went, "We watched the game. I'm sorry." And he gave me a hug.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah. And then I sat at the bar talking to the bartender, bitching about Germans. It was a thoroughly lovely afternoon. See, that's the only problem against living in America is that, at least in England, that would have been a couple of hours bitching, a couple of hours drinking, and I'm going to bed, restarting. It was
the whole
5
day.
o'clock, and I'm like, Jesus Christ, I've got the whole rest of the night just to stew on this shit. But yeah. Anything else do you want to touch on in that game, or fuck
I hated it?
It was a very miserable. He should have given me a shot of tequila. Yeah, it was a Spanish bar, not a Mexican. Today it's tequila Mexican.
Spanish, Mexican.
Sure
They give you a glass of sangria.
No, I got a Estrella, the beer, and they had a fancy brandy glass which I took home, which is very nice.
You stole it?
No, I actually, being the typical. Of course, sometimes when you're in a bar or a brewery, it's very easy because it's crowded. It's just very easy to let's just slip this in the bag.
Or
but
you go with your girl and she has a purse.
Yeah, but this was very early on in the evening, so it was literally I was the only one there, so pretty much all eyes were on me. So, so I just, hey, since you're feeling sorry for me, can I take this home? And they let me. That's not the greatest story in the world, but whatever. Then on to Sunday morning, West Ham, Norwich. I had to go back and rewatch this because because I overslept, if I'm honest, so I didn't miss the first half live, and I tuned in just at the start of the second half, and I saw West Ham 3-0 up. I was like, oh shit, this is gonna be it. And then the second half was not as exciting as the first half, so I was like, oh, this is a shame. But Benihana.
This is the Benihana
2
show.
goals.
I mean, I don't really give a shit about this game. I'm gonna be honest. I didn't give a shit. I was like, we're gonna probably fuck it up. I expected us to fuck it up, but it's like one of those where it's like, I think that we're gonna fuck it up just because I have no faith in this team, and I still don't have any faith in this team. You beat the worst team in the league. It says absolutely nothing to me about this team. Like, if you fucking go in and do that this weekend, okay, all right, I'll turn it around. But I'm done, man. I'm numb to this team. I didn't care. Like, I was happy for Benny. I was just like, I'm not excited we beat Norwich.
I am.
I mean,
because
I would have been like, at that point I was like, I just was expecting us to lose, and even when we were up 3-0, I was like, you know what'd be really, really West Ham right now is us to just blow this 3-0 lead. Like, we're gonna come out and just give up 3 goals, and then as the time went on, you're like, okay, that's probably
exactly that would have been West Ham. So the fact that we won 4-0.
Another one. But then you realize like until like the Lanzini penalty, I was like, all right, well, this could happen. But I really
I'm not going to argue because he scored, but why did Ben Rama not get that penalty to get his hat trick? What was that about?
You'd think. So yeah,
and then
find Norwich. We'll see in 2 years.
Yeah.
That's exactly like, how shitty does it have to be a Norwich fan? Like, that is like being a Giants fan or being like, the Giants have been bad the last while, so they're drafting towards the top. But like being a Browns fan, like that can't feel as bad as being a Norwich fan. But does it feel bad? Like, would you trade that out because you're winning at the championship level? But then it's like, we're just gonna get our shit kicked in next year. And then we can go right back, and then we're gonna get our shit kicked in, and then we're gonna go right back. Like, you're just yo-yoing up and down. Like, as at least in like the NFL, if your team sucks for a very, very long time, you're like, well, we got a high draft pick. Like,
yeah, you have
with
something
us.
to
The Giants sucked last year. We had all that stuff happening, and then we were like, Kayvon Thibodeau. Oh, all right, Evan Neal. Huh? Maybe we're turning around. Like, you don't have that. Like, Erlich Haaland just got bought by Man City, so City is going to win the title again next year. Sick. Like, they're just turning into Bayern. That's kind of what this is going to be like. I hope the Super League starts. I hope the Super League really happens, just so we can fucking have a shot. Since we aren't in the fucking money range, we're just like, yeah, that's cool. Like, Liverpool can have everybody, Chelsea can have everybody, City can have everybody, Tottenham can overpay for a bunch of people and underperform. That's fine. I don't care.
Newcastle,
but Newcastle's not even good.
Yeah, but they've got a fuck ton of money to spend this summer, so who knows what they're going to be like.
Yeah, I don't know. I just, would you rather be a Browns fan or a Norwich fan? Because, like, do you even give a shit at that point? Like, if your team's whole, like,
at least in the Browns, you know you're in the big league every year, and you have a somewhat of a chance of improving. Whereas Norwich, like you say, you have to wait 2 seasons essentially to come back up.
I don't.
Last season, but you know what I mean.
You grew up over there, so you know a lot more about it than me. But, like, when you're a team that, like, say, like Villa was a Premier League staple for a while. They were never like the top team in the Premier League, but they were always like, you throw around 5 Premier League teams. Some people could say Villa in that. Then they get relegated. They were relegated for a while. Like, do you as a fan, like, do they just lose attendance? Do people just not go to those games? Like, is it's like a lesser thing, but, like, you're trying to get back to the big thing, so you still have the interest, which is the beauty of English football, or of just football in general, the football pyramids. Like, are you like, well, I mean, this is fucking the championship, I don't really give a shit anymore? Like, do less people go to stuff like that? Do you stop caring after a while, or are you just like, maybe the thrill of maybe we get to the Premier League? But then, like, when you get to the Premier League, Norwich didn't think they had a chance this year, did they?
What didn't,
like, maybe we'd be 15.
Yeah, they were never.
Like, you're entering with that as your ceiling, and it's just like such a yo-yo. Like,
well,
yeah,
when you come back into Premier League, you have to set I think a good season is just not to get relegated, and then you can build on that. So I think that's your aim when you've just come back up. Speaking of getting, I mean, it depends on the club, I guess, and how long you're down for. Because I remember West Ham when they went down to the Championship last time. As far as I can remember, I can look at the stats, but I don't think they suffered that badly in attendance. I don't think they sold out every game, but they were still pretty packed out. And it was fun for a season because every now and again you'd play like a really shit team and we'd win like 7-0. It was like, hey, that was fun.
But doesn't it break up teams? Like, you lose a lot of guys, don't you? And so, like, Norwich is essentially coming into the Premier League every other year with an entirely a very different squad than they left with. Isn't that kind of weird? Like, isn't there a lot more turnover?
In terms of what?
Of just, like, players, because you got the Premier League players aren't going to go to the Championship again. The Championship players are going to stay in there, and then they're probably going to get sold to somebody who thinks that they're worthy of anything, if they are, or you're going to be bad. And, you know, like, I don't know.
It depends on how much they're on.
There's that Netflix series, Sunderland Till I Die, and I really got sucked into that a while back, and it was just like, man, I would just fucking quit if they just got relegated back-to-back years. It's like, no, you're down 3 tiers. And I saw that they are in is it EFL 1 after the Championship?
Yes.
They're
in the playoffs.
They just won the playoff game, so they're in the final, I believe.
Wait, did they?
No. They won 2-1 on aggregate.
Oh, really? They already playing those already?
The second leg was like yesterday or no, it was Monday, yeah. But I was like, fuck yeah, Sunderland. And, like, every time, like a couple times a year, I'll check the the Football League 1 table and just be like, oh, Sunderland still fucking kicking. Because they're always around like 5 or 6.
Yeah, they're playing Wycombe Wanderers in the playoff final.
I'm rooting for Sunderland.
Sunderland.
Is that a cool place in England?
Don't think so. I've never been.
The show made the stadium look sick. It's called the Stadium of Light too, and I was like, that's badass.
Yeah, it is a pretty cool stadium. I'm just trying to, because I've been looking at the. Jesus Christ, why can't I?
Them and Everton can probably have like two of the coolest stadiums in the championship next year if they get promoted.
I would love it if Everton get relegated. I really would. Just.
Do you really want them to?
Yeah,
Yeah, because they never have, right?
It's something different, and it's like the same thing. Like I was just looking at the championship playoffs of who could come up to the Premier League next year. I'm just looking at the four: Huddersfield, Luton, Nottingham Forest, or Sheffield United. I'm rooting for Nottingham Forest or Luton Town because they haven't been in the Premier League for ages.
And,
So
Bournemouth already got promoted, and then who else was it? There was another one that was. Yeah, but isn't that
Schindler? Yeah, but isn't that what makes sports what it is? Having to fight hard to get your piece to buy.
I'm
Yeah?
not saying, and that's the beauty. That's what I said. I said like that's the beauty of like the game of soccer and the pyramid that goes with it. But it's like after a while, you just kind of like, fuck, dude, this sucks. Like we're just gonna have another long.
It
year.
will
Like
beat
you
you
said,
down.
like you just try. It's not fun. You go from kicking the shit out of people to just being like, we are that team now.
Yeah, Bobby. Every place in England is cool. I can confirm
Besides
that
Tottenham.
is not true. Like I'm not. You know, I'm proud of where I'm from, but where I'm from, I would not describe as a cool place in England.
It's probably cool. It's a
guess.
bit dodgy. It's a bit dodgy.
It's a bit way, bit whoa, bit. Got to be a bit tasty.
Actually, you made it seem really cool. If it was like everybody there's like, way, whoa, this is a cool fucking town, dude.
I don't know what they're saying, but
You guys, this town is hip.
walking around with their bowl, like walking around like this.
I do. Just going back to the relegation thing. I'm sorry, I completely just got us like off track. I feel like, but like, I
If
guess
anything,
that's what
Bobby
we do
did. Bobby
That's what we do
McThunderwaffles.
every week. But like, I remember when West Ham was like, we thought West Ham was going to get relegated 2 years ago, and I was like, I'm probably not going to care about this team as much anymore if they get relegated because it's like the times of the games were like, that you sometimes play like Tuesday games and just you have like random weekday games and stuff like that. I was like, I'm not gonna care as much if I can't watch it because like it was hard. It's way harder to watch championship games.
It's on. Is it
Not
on?
all of them.
Are they
ESPN Plus
not?
is a lot, but not all of them because I've tried to. I've gambled on
Oh.
several and I've not been able to watch them.
Didn't know that. That's a bit shitty. Karl-Heinz Schinder, if I'm pronouncing that correctly. I am from Austria, and my team is a permanent relegation team, so I know how
Okay.
it is. But we still get goosebumps and stuff every year. So what are you
That's a good
saying,
perspective.
Carl? Are you saying like permanent as in you get relegated, the next season you get relegated, next season you get relegated, or are you like up and down?
I guess a relegation team is just you're back and forth.
Are you
You're
just
the yo-yo.
yo-yoing,
and
or you just
that's just that's what it sets up. And eventually, there's those borderline like Everton, not Everton, fucking Jaguars owner Fulham.
Yep.
Fulham.
Tony
is
Khan.
kind of. They're basically they're a better version of of Norwich. We said Nottingham Forest one time, and I can't stop saying that. I really hope they get promoted now. But like. Fulham is a better version of Norwich, where they're like, well, we're going to hang around the Premier League for like 2-3 years. Then we'll go back down.
and then we'll see next
Then
year.
we're going to get back, and then we're going to go right back down.
I mean, that don't really work because now they're at least what Tony Khan's third favorite company that he owns.
What else
'Cause
is he?
All Elite
Jags.
Wrestling,
Oh, you're right. That guy's
and
got
he's
it all.
like super into that. So I don't think he gives a shit about Fulham.
I thought
to
his
be honest.
son owns that.
You're sorry. Yes, Sadiq Khan owns the Jaguars. Tony Khan owns Fulham, and
Tony Khan owns the Jaguars and Fulham. I think his son owns
no, Tony Khan is the son.
AEW. Oh, well then never mind.
Is it Sadiq Khan? I think is the dad who
I don't
owns the
know.
Jaguars,
Those are just cool fucking names, dude.
and then Tony owns AEW and Fulham. Yeah. Okay.
Cool would that be? That's the dream, isn't it? Like you could talk about like money can't buy it. Money can buy a soccer team. Money can buy an NFL team, and money can buy a fucking wrestling thing. Yeah, I'm in.
Money can't buy you happiness, but it can buy you a bunch of shit. I still hope that it'll never get banned, just like American. Oh yeah, I hope there's never get relegation, and that was easy for me to say. But yeah, whoever it is, someone in the Khan family definitely owns the Jaguars. That's fact.
Yeah, because you got Shad. Was it Shad? Shad and Tony Khan. Shad Khan's the dude with the sick mustache.
That's the dad.
Okay. And Tony owns All Elite Wrestling. And I think Shad owns the Fulham too. But I'm sure the son's involved.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's a 50-50. Because I know every now and again Tony will tweet about Fulham. Very rarely. But anyway.
Well, just Shad Khan's got the fucking sickest mustache. It's awesome, dude.
He has got a pretty fucking cool mustache.
I just want to buy a team. Let's buy the Dynamo. You want to buy the Houston Dynamo with me?
Sure, why not?
The American leagues like totally did abandon their like soccer leagues. Where it's funny to me that like Houston always promotes themselves like, hey dude, we're multicultural. You know, the Hispanic population here loves soccer, they loves football. So we built a stadium for the Dynamo. It's gonna be awesome. And just routinely, there's people are just not there at the games, and then the fucking Seattle Sounders sell out the Seahawks stadium every game. Atlanta United is selling out where the Falcons play. It's like the Dynamo can't fill like a.
But that's the problem.
16,000.
That's the problem with. I mean, not to get too deep into that, but the quote unquote American system is that unless you are a true die-hard fan, if there's nothing on the line, like okay, we're not going to win this championship, so and obviously we're not going to get relegated, so I'll just wait till next year. Till we like might have a chance again. There's nothing exciting on the line.
That's like what we're depending on with the Giants. We're like, all right, well, you know, and we can talk about Bradbury here in a little bit, but where it's just like we're just banking on them slowly rebuilding. They're not going to be good, but like that is an American system. Like the British did figure out, or Europeans did figure out how to just like avoid tanking, like intentionally tanking for draft picks. And like the Houston Astros are what they are today because they're like, we are going to be the worst team in baseball for 3 consecutive years. We are going to break the record for most losses back to back seasons just because. But we're going to be so bad. We're going to have all these draft picks that are really high up. We're going to do a bunch of scouting and we're going to bring all these guys in, the Jose Altuves, the Carlos Correas, the George Springers, the Alex Bregmans, like all these star dudes right now. They brought them in and then they win a World Series, and you can put an asterisk next to it or whatever. I don't, but like that's what the American system is like. We're going to just fucking suck. The 76ers are in the NBA playoffs right now. They were like, we're going to be the worst team in basketball for 5 years and just hope that we can hit gold with 2 or 3 guys. And they finally got some of the pieces and they're a team. Like that isn't like you're not allowed to have a rebuilding year at West Ham. You can't. Or you're
in the European system, it's like, oh, you want a tank? Well, you can't play next year then. Sucks to be you. Let's catch up on the live chat. It is not soccer, it is football. As much as I agree with but although, as I think I mentioned on the show, if you look back at the early history, even in England, just to differentiate it from rugby, football was called soccer in England in the early 1900s. Also, the Sounders CONCACAF Champions League win was great.
First MLS team to win the CONCACAF Champions League. Shout out to America.
Yeah, normally like American teams get to like the semi-final, final, and then the Mexican team just destroys them. So it was pretty impressive.
Dude, how cool is that we got somebody from Austria watching us?
It's pretty cool.
Do you like Marko Arnautovic, Carl?
Good question.
You're an Arnautovic fan?
But from the Waffles, we don't mention the Dynamo because I never signed Alex yet.
Bobby
still time. There's still time.
Fucking, he's a ride or die right there.
I've been getting
they
so
actually
many
got a good
spam messages.
keeper, even though they're not that good.
Yeah, but if you get relegated from the Premier League, you get the so-called parachute payments. Yeah, so if you get relegated from the Premier League, you get a bunch of fucking money. So because obviously to be in the Premier League to compete, you have to suddenly sign. You have to spend a lot of money and sign a lot of players to high contracts to compete. And then obviously if you go to the Championship, there's a lot less money coming in. So I guess to be nice, the Premier League gives you some money to kind of gives you time to either come back up or get rid of those contracts.
Right. Okay. Because if you're certain, there's certain teams that just can't afford it, and it's like, well, see you later.
And they go. I get what I do. It's like to make people not want to do it, so to put on purpose. However, when teams go into administration, i.e., they can't afford to pay anyone anymore, and yada yada yada.
That's what Derby was, right?
Yeah, and then
Derby, excuse me.
they fine them like 20 points. So chances are they're going to get relegated. So because they got no money, you're going to take them down a league basically to where they're going to make even less money. So the problem's going to get even bigger. It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah,
there should be some other kind of punishment, but I don't know.
But that's what that was Derby County, huh? Okay, let's go to
Carl in Austria. And now Astronautovic is fun. I don't know what is that. Was that a typo? Or is that a pun that I missed?
I don't know. That's kind of cool.
Astronautovic.
I liked him. He was my favorite West Ham player when I started watching West Ham.
Yeah, if he played for West Ham, we could do the Astronautovic with the West Ham Houston Astros tie-in. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, that'd be sick.
So
I like Carl. Thanks for tuning in, Carl.
Yeah. Next up,
I had one other thing, Kentucky Derby related. Rebecca Lowe, NBC Sports, a lot of soccer coverage, British woman. She was helping NBC cover the Derby, and it was so funny watching her. Like, everybody's like, "Yep, my Derby pick," and she's like, "And here for the Derby," and like you could tell, like she would kind of correct the Derby, the Derby, the Derby. But like you got a couple solid derbies from her, and it was like she was like, "Fucking Americans, you guys don't know how to say it right." But like,
did you watch
the way it's spelled makes way more sense. I did watch it, and I lost money on it, but it was fun.
Well, I don't know, but I did see that an under. Can you call it a horse? An underdog? An underhorse?
Yeah,
an underhorse won 80-1.
Underdog for sure. Yeah, it was 80-1. It was the second highest odds or second worst odds for a Kentucky Derby winning horse. Like that, he came into the day. My friend actually had texted me, he was like, "This horse is 99-1," and it was like, "These are the longest odds of any Derby participant in so many years." And I was like, "Well, fuck, dude. What if we just threw like $2 on this 99-1 odds horse?" And we didn't do it, but it was like that would if we did, it wouldn't have happened. So I felt confident in that.
Can you imagine? Someone must have put a lot of money on that 80-1 and won big.
If you picked the first, second, and third in order, it was like $162,000, $400 on a $2 ticket.
Oof.
That's like when I do horse racing, I don't pick favorites. Like when I go to the tracker, like when I'm watching horse racing and stuff, it's like you got to just pick like some crazy bet and just hope that it hits eventually, and then it pays out a bunch.
Was that the horse that won and got punched in the face after the win? Wait, what?
Yeah. You got to go watch, dude. It's what I like about Rich Strike, which we've said before on my morning show, the Rod Ryan show, we said the other day was Lucy translates to dick punch. But Rich Strike won and immediately like was just all like fucking jacked up. Like it was like, I fucking just won the Kentucky Derby. He's probably stoked. And then the like pace horse that comes to kind of like try and like wrangle him up, it just bites the pace horse. And then it got the other guy's leg that was riding it, and so that dude just kind of popped it. It was like, did you just punch a horse? Like, I'm glad that you caught that because like nobody really talked about it, but on Twitter there were people like, this guy just fucking punched a horse, and we're just gonna pretend it didn't happen. Like the guy won a Kentucky Derby and you hit him.
That's not
you
cool.
didn't bet on him.
Like, sure, he tried to bite you, but whatever. He's hyped. Let him enjoy it.
Pretty wild, but like I also like a bad boy horse that's just like, fuck you, I'm gonna bite you. And then when you see the replay and you could see the horse like looked at the horse that was in the lead, he was like, fuck that motherfucker. And I was like, I like this guy.
As he's passing him, he's just
like he was. I was like, he looked at him like he wanted to bite him right then. I think he wanted to bite the leader, and that was the only reason he won. And I like that. Like I don't expect him to win the second one. I don't know. I think it's the Belmont coming up here. But like, I don't expect him to win that. But if he wins the Belmont, like that's crazy. I just want to see him maybe bite somebody. Just like that. If you go rewatch it, and when they show the replay, you'll be like, that horse wanted to bite. I think it was Zandon that was up there. It was like that guy was gonna bite him.
I mean, it's a good tactic because next race, that horse is coming through. The other horse is gonna be like, fuck that guy, and they're gonna get out of his way.
Exactly. And they're like, dude, do we want to, like, let's just let this guy through. So let it through. This horse bites. The second is still a lot of money.
Just a horse going past him.
Well, that's what like Seabiscuit had to do. They had to put blinders on him because he could only barely see out of one eye, and then you had to let another horse pass him, and he was like, "Fuck no, you're not going to pass me," and that's how you'd get him to go. This horse just sees somebody in front of him and is like, "I gotta bite this motherfucker," and the guy's like, "Well, actually, let's steer this way, and we'll win the race." He's got no one to do it.
That would get so many views. Like if the next race, they're all like panning across the horses and they're all ready to go, and he's got a muzzle on. He's like, oh, "Let me go!" And it's like, "Oh shit, I want to bet on that crazy motherfucker."
Yeah.
Horse racing just got exciting. I need to, for the first time ever in my 36 years on this earth, I have said, "Oh shit, I need to look up the highlights of this horse race."
Dude, you live right by a track, don't you? Don't you live near the stadium? Isn't it right across from MetLife? There's a horse track. Maybe it's
yeah. No, I think no, actually, yeah, it could. I don't know now. Now I thought it was a horse track, but then you said dog track, and now I'm like, oh, actually, which one is it? I don't know. Carl Hines, imagine winning Champions League while scoring 3 in the game, and afterwards, the security dude comes up to you and punches you in the face. I want to see it.
I mean, but like, I would be pissed. I would have been like, fucking, I'm the owner here. Get that guy out. Get that guy out. Kick him out now. I just won the Derby. This is my house. We don't do that to my Kentucky Derby winning. You're trying to sabotage him. You must have bet on Epicenter.
Sore loser.
The big horse companies are trying to take him out. It's like when you say something about Hillary. Come out against Hillary, and you just disappear. Keep an eye out. This guy's, I mean, I love Rich Strike, but I'm worried he's going to turn into glue in a couple of months.
I mean, that'd be valuable glue.
The most valuable glue. And dude, do you know how much money? Like when you win the Kentucky Derby, you just get the fuck. They're just like, go live on this farm, bro. I'm just gonna let you hang out on this farm and just bang. People are gonna pay us hundreds of thousands of dollars
to get your
to just
offspring.
get your just have you bang their horse. What a life. What a life, you know?
Like you win a race, you get to bite someone. Sure, you get
one race,
in the face, but after that, it's just smooth sailing.
Right, and it's like, and this guy was like a long shot. Like the horse didn't know that it was in the like. I think 3 other horses scratched because there's only 20 horses allowed into the Derby every year. So he was like number 24 or 25. 3 horses scratched like during the week, and then he was number 21, and then a horse scratched on Friday. And so Friday afternoon, they were like, your horse is going to be actually in the Derby because he ran it as number 21. And they're like, why is there's not 21 spots? And it was just because he was the alternate and was like, I wasn't going to race yesterday, but fuck it. Let's go win the Derby. It's going to be a Disney movie. Absolutely going to be a Disney movie. And now that dude gets to live in like wherever they retired to in Kentucky and just bang. What a life.
Win and bang.
What a life. Let's
Jealous.
buy a horse, Mike. Let's buy a horse.
Let's buy a MLS team and a horse.
I feel like a horse is easier. It's cheaper. We'll start with a horse. Yeah. We'll get our Kentucky Derby winnings. Use it to buy a team.
And then the rest of the breeding money is just fun money.
And by buy a team, I mean I want to buy a 2% stake in a team. You and I each get 1% of stake, and then we don't have to make any decisions. But we could be, actually, we're owners, so we get like all of the fun, but we don't get the blame because we aren't making the decisions. I'm like, yeah, I thought that guy's a fucking asshole too. He won't let me buy more shares.
I mean, yeah, if I had more control, then I'd make a difference. But unfortunately, my hands are tied, so I'm a people man. Don't tell Disney I'm already on page 40 of my movie scripts.
I like that.
What's it going to be called? What would your maybe Little Race Winners? I don't know.
Little Race Winners.
The Comeback Kid Keeps Coming. Maybe that's the late night version.
Disney, it'd be like a comeback in Kentucky. So you could just name it Rich Strike. That's a cool name.
Rich Strike would be a good movie name.
That would be a really cool name. What would we name our horse? Would we name it Noble? Noble Rice.
Noble. I mean, you got to have Noble in it, I guess.
Or Benihana.
No, because then Benihana will probably sue us.
They can't. It's a horse. It's like naming your dog Jack Daniels.
I need to look into that.
You can't tell me what I can name my pets.
Or what if you just Onion Volcano? That'd be a good horse name.
That would be that. Well, that's our second horse. We have a whole stable of horses eventually because we're so good at it, and we just slowly name them our nicknames for Ben Rama.
Or we name the horse Mark Noble, and we just name the penis the Onion Volcano.
I like that.
Yeah,
I like that.
shooting fire into. Anyway, jeez, we sidetracked. Carl Heinz, he named his dog Dog. I mean, it's a good name. You won't forget it.
In German, which is Hund. I like that.
Hence, that's Hund. It's a German kind of dog. Then it will be like, hey, Mike, I got the horses in the back.
Horse tag is attached. Hat is matted black. Got the boosters like the match. We'd have to name one Little Nas X for sure.
That'd be the third one.
Yes, he is named after the Little Nas X, and then I could be best friends with him. That's how it would work.
Or would you name it Lil Nas XI? So it's like the next one. See it like
it's just
Lil
Lil
Nas
Nas
10,
X.
Lil Nas 11.
Just Little Nas X. I like Carl Hines. I mean, shout out to Bobby McThunderwaffles because he's always hanging out with us. But it's like now we got a group, got a little
Bobby and
got a little
Carl.
family, and from all the way across the other side of the pond.
Wait, he said he's Austrian. He never said he's in Austria. Are you
But he
in
said,
Austria, Carl?
Greetings from Austria.
Maybe. So what time is it in Austria? It's like 6. It's got like nearly 1 a.m., right? What a guy. There we go. Yep, confirmed. It is 12:42 a.m. Shout out. Thanks for joining us, Carl.
I like that.
Just out of interest, how did you find us? Did you find us through social media, or did YouTube recommend it? I don't think YouTube would have done because YouTube's dicks. But anyway, real quick, Mark Noble. Final home game on Sunday against Manchester City. Do you think that that's going to drum up the passion and it's going to be a fairy tale movie finish and he's going to score like a hat trick and destroy Man City? Or is it going to be really miserable and we're going to lose?
I think it's going to be miserable. Bless you, Emma. Everybody say bless you to Emma.
Bless you, Emma.
I think it's going to be bad. Bless you.
Bless you, Emma.
It's just... Yeah, no, she's good. It's Manchester City, and they're
blow your nose, Emma. Jesus.
They're playing for the title. They're gonna beat the shit out of us. It's not gonna be fun. We're gonna be Norwich this week, but like that is the only grain of hope I have. Is that like it's like the Boleyn ground. I think it's the anniversary of us moving from the Boleyn ground, and like they beat Manchester United that game.
Was
right?
it today or yesterday?
It was this week.
Yeah.
This week.
I remember getting thrown out of that game.
Noble got thrown out?
No, I got thrown out.
Oh, shit. Oh, yeah. You tried to like sneak in, right?
Yeah, I didn't have a ticket.
You didn't have a
so
ticket.
it's fair cop. It's a fair cop. Oh, Carl, so you found us on Twitch. Oh, okay. So that I must admit, because we had someone similar named, and I thought that was a spam bot, if I'm going to be honest. So I apologize, Carl. Welcome to the show. Yeah, I'm hoping, but it's a desperate hope. That's all I've got to say, really.
Not feeling great about it.
No.
I don't.
I just wish it was
going to finish where we are right now. I think we're going to finish worse than 7th.
No, we're not. Because the only way Wolves can finish above us is if they win their final 3 games, and they have Man City and Liverpool as 2 of their final 3 games.
Okay, it makes you feel better.
So
sometimes I just need you to
worst case 7th. If we win our last 2 games, we finish 6th. guaranteed.
If we win our last two,
Yes.
we're not going to win this.
Unless Manchester United beat Crystal Palace like 12-0. Because our goal difference is way better than theirs.
Hold on, let me look. They have a... No, they don't. We have a game in hand.
We have a game in hand. So, yeah, if we win our final 2 games, we finish 6th.
Oh, what? Mike, one, I'm dumb because I just didn't pay attention. But we're not going to beat Manchester City, so it's not going to matter. I do think Bachmann plays for...
I don't know. I don't really pay that much attention to Wolves, but I'm just desperately hoping that they... So, this is the thing. So do I want... Like, I want Manchester City to, like, destroy Wolves, like, 20-0 tomorrow. Because then way, their goal difference would be so superior that they can lose 1-0 against West Ham and still win the league. They don't have to...
Manchester City plays tomorrow?
Yes.
Maybe they just get so tired. They play so hard. They're so
like
tired.
They win. They get so tired of scoring so many goals.
What did Liverpool do? Did they win today?
They beat Aston Villa 2-1.
Oh, shit.
But no, I'm actually... Because at first, I was kind of like, I hope Liverpool lose. Then that way, the pressure's off Man City and maybe they'll relax against us. But then I worked it out. If Liverpool had lost today, then that would have meant Man City could have been officially crowned champions by beating us. I was like, oh no, that's too much motivation. I don't like that. Okay, so I'm glad Liverpool won.
That's good. They're gonna beat us, but we have the noble thing we can play, and just in my head, I'll tell myself that's how we do this. What do you think he's gonna start?
No.
You don't let him start. You sub him in at like where?
I would bring him on.
It's 4-0 and we're done.
Like 75th minute. Something like that. Carl says he's actually a City fan. If someone asks for a team in the Premier League. No, Carl. Change.
You're doing it all wrong, bro. We root for whatever Austrian team you root for if you root for West Ham. That's how it works.
It's a deal. Name our Austrian team and we'll...
it's our Austrian team.
It's our Austrian
Rapid
team.
Vienna.
That's the only one you know, right?
Yep.
Come on, Carl. Help us out here.
I want to know now. But Austria,
Klagenfurt. That
sounds awesome.
That sounds such a fun team.
My big Klagenfurt fan. I want to find out what our mascot is. Doing research on our team right now.
Research. Find out now. Yeah, Rapid Vienna sucks because we beat them in the Europa League. Another reason why Carl should be a West Ham fan.
They play at Worthersea Stadium.
Love that.
Learning more about them as we're reading right now. This is a very informational podcast, I feel like.
We have learned a lot.
It doesn't have a mascot or a name. So
come on, Carl. Educate us.
They're the Capitals because they play in the capital.
Love that.
The Corinthian capital.
Sure.
Uh-huh.
No mascot. We can. We'll decide on a mascot. We'll create a mascot.
Yeah.
The Klagenfurt.
I think so. The Clags. Clag on, lads.
Clag on.
Die bomb. I feel uncomfortable chanting things in other languages.
Yeah, not going to attempt. But yeah.
Landa shop spoot. The boys from the
apparently I think that translates to the boys from the capital.
I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's go Clag.
If anything, this episode has definitely taught. If you are listening to this podcast, I'm not sure how well this translated. This episode.
This is the most Austrian episode ever. Of Claire Big Blue.
If you are listening to this, I highly recommend you either switch in your shit to Spotify where you can watch it, or just watch us live on YouTube. and Twitch Tuesday evenings at 6 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Exactly. Make sure you hit the follow button and subscribe button, that thing as well, the red thing, and hit the bell and make it go ding-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling. So, yeah. Although we are nearing the end of season 2, I think we've got, if I work it out correctly, I think we've got 2 episodes left before I take a little break. Since there'll be literally nothing to talk about. I guess we'll talk about more, but I guess if West Ham do something crazy and buy like 10 players in a couple of days, we might do a special episode to talk about that. But yeah, Tuesday evening drunk, isn't that a nice thing?
Nice.
It's almost as good as Monday nights and Wednesday nights and Thursday nights, Friday nights, Saturday, Sundays. Yeah. All right. Well, Austria, Klagenfurt, officially our team here at Claret Big Blue. We'll be keeping an eye on them. But if Carl, for example, people like Carl who discover us, want to keep listening to us talking about weird shit, where can these great people listen to your other podcasts, Alex?
Pass the Grade Podcast. Follow us at Pass the Grade Pod on Twitter and Instagram if you want to do that, Carl. Tomorrow we're going to talk about I bought some new gym equipment. I'm going to get ripped, so that's going to be talked about a little bit. We're going to talk about things that you can't do that don't make you feel like a drug dealer, even though you're not a drug dealer. Jack Harlow. I don't know if you know who Jack Harlow is. Very popular this weekend at the Derby. We'll talk about Jack Harlow. And then I have some stuff that's happened that wasn't cool that I'll tell you guys about. And we'll answer some listener and viewer questions. Go check it out. Pass the Gravy Podcast, free wherever you listen to podcasts, or just YouTube Pass the Gravy Podcast. You can check us out there on YouTube if you want to just hop over after you watch this one. Carl, what about Waffle Box? I know we got Waffle Box coming up. What do you guys have planned?
New episode of Waffle Box coming out tomorrow, where we'll be talking. It's a very Marvel heavy show, since obviously the whole world is talking about the new Doctor Strange movie. So we'll be talking about that. No spoilers though, because I haven't seen it. Only the guy who does the movie has seen it. So don't worry, if you haven't seen it yet, you can listen to watch the show. There will be no spoilers. But then we'll also be doing the Marvel version of the Trapdoor, where we'll be deleting characters from history, middle of the show quiz. But the lead-off story is, I don't know if you saw this, but there's a reservoir in Las Vegas which is slowly draining and revealing a bunch of dead bodies. Interesting. So we'll be diving, pun intended, into that as well. So if you want to check that out, what is Waffle Box? Indeed. I'm not going to explain it here because it's just basically a merge of two stupid English sayings, waffle on and chatbox. But yes, check that out. Go to enjoywafflebox.com. Follow us on social medias at waffleboxpod. Bobby McFun Waffles, I didn't want to say anything, but you look more ripped, Alex.
Hey, thanks, man.
Thanks,
buddy.
What about these water pistols? Carl, we don't really have a breakfast culture. No, it's nothing to do with breakfast. It's literally, we don't talk about...
Breakfast is dope, dude.
Breakfast is dope, but yeah, on Waffle Box Podcast, we don't talk about waffles or boxes. It's a very weird thing.
We don't talk about gravy on Pass the Gravy either.
Yeah, we are weird, as you probably noticed by tuning in this evening. So yes, for more, check out Pass the Gravy Pod at Pass the Gravy Pod on social medias, at Wafflebox Pod as well. New episodes coming your way tomorrow. But of course, I hope Carl and Bobby and those joining us live have hit that subscribe button so that you will join us next week. We'll be here again Tuesday evening at 6 o'clock Eastern, 5 o'clock Central, and midnight in Austria.
Exactly. See you next week, Carl.
See you next,
and
Carl.
Watch us on our other stuff.
And follow us on Instagram and Twitter at C&BB Pod. But until then, don't forget...
Seahorses forever.
And we'll see you next Tuesday.
Hey, let's go to Peyton. He's going to break down that touchdown.
Can't hear shit.
Never mind.